Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Kayla. I'm on the marketing team at Wasatch Crest. And today, our clinical director and our alumni coordinator will be talking about keeping alumni connected and what we do to kind of keep alumni engaged in our Wasatch Warriors alumni program. So it should be a good presentation. Before we start, there's a few handouts attached to this GoToWebinar system. They tell about our program and our admissions process. So you can download those by going to the handout section of the GoToWebinar control panel, and there's those PDFs in there. And then you can also download this presentation. I will let Becky and Rich kick it off.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, we're excited to have our alumni coordinator, Becky, here to present for us today. She is alumni of Wasatch Crest, and we're happy to have her here as our alumni coordinator. So I will let her take it away.
Hi, guys. My name is Becky. Like you said, I'm the alumni coordinator here at Wasatch Crest. I'm also a alumni of the program. So I'm just going to kind of go over our program and why it's important to stay connected once the clients leave treatment. So what we do before every client leaves here, I set up a meeting with them, and we make sure we have all the appropriate contact information. I get a feel for like what the recovery looks like to them, if they need help with finding 12-step meetings, and kind of who their support group is for when they get home. The reason it's important is because when you first walk out, when you're in treatment, you're kind of in this little bubble. And I think that's at least for myself, when I walked out of treatment, it was hard to know where I fit in, and needed stuff that kept me busy and stuff that kept me accountable. So I always call the first week of our clients leaving and check in with them, see how they're doing, see if there's any way to support them. And then we also do a weekly meeting every Wednesday night. And that way people can support each other. They can check in. They can see people maybe they were in treatment with, and also make new connections. Right now, it's been a little tricky since COVID has happened. We've been having to stay connected pretty much all online. We did have a sober softball team that Tyson, one of the staff here, he coached it. And so they were able to do that this summer. And yes, sorry. We also had a alumni hike in October for Halloween that we did outside, where people could come and see each other. And we also feel like it's important to, for those alumni that are wanting to share their story, it's a good platform for them to share their story with others and to show the people that are newer in the program, that it works and that it's possible. What else are we doing?
And I think the biggest part from my perspective, and the thing that really works well with the alumni program is the fact that, we're trying to rebuild a community, and hopefully the Wasatch Crest alumni program isn't just, isn't their only community, but hopefully they're plugged into a 12-step community, whether they're have a church group or a sober support group or a sober gym. It's just one more way to help reintegrate them back into society and get them connected with people that have the same goals, that understand kind of the culture in recovery, especially early on, and it helps lift them up and keep them safe long enough to really reintegrate. And then hopefully they stay connected for years. And we've got some alumni that have been connected, for over 5 years sober, and they really do have an opportunity to be of service to the guys that are just the men and women that are just coming out of treatment. And I'm excited to kind of hear from Becky, kind of some of the stuff we do to help keep them engaged.
So we're actually launching a new campaign this Monday, I believe, Monday or Tuesday. And we worked really hard to put it together. It's a 52-week email communication campaign. And this goes through, and we've collected content from staff members. We've done little blogs, and a lot of our staff members here are in recovery also. And so it just kind of gives them some insight on what we've done to be able to stay sober. And then also we have some clinical advice blogs that get sent out. And like I said, we meet every Wednesday right now. Once, we can do it back in person again, we plan to do so. We also have been doing a alumni game night once a month, where we have a trivia game put together. Some of them have been like where people dress up in costumes, and we've had prizes for that. And it's just on a Saturday night, and everyone logs into Zoom, and we just play for an hour, and we've had a lot of fun with that. We also this Christmas are doing our our holiday event online, where we have a speaker meeting with one of our females that was in the program. She also spent some time in her addiction when she was homeless. So we decided to put together a fundraiser for the Salt Lake Road Home, the homeless shelter. And we have already started raising money for that, so that's really cool. And we're gonna go buy, things that they might need and deliver those down there. Also to keep them involved. It's been kind of tricky trying to navigate all the online stuff. So we've sent out little goodie packages for the alumni to enjoy while we're logged on to the speaker meeting. As far as those Wednesday night meetings go, we also give them a chance to open up at the end. And if anyone wants to share what's been going on in their lives, we like to celebrate clean time. We like to, anything that, if they've gone and gotten a new job, things even as like buying their first car in recovery, things like that, we like to share and celebrate with them.
Well, one of the things that I think's been really cool, a huge part of the clinical programming involves kind of, experiential therapies, being out on the trail, like movement, like re-engaging in activities that most likely fell by the wayside when we started using and drinking. And we really want to get people excited about things, which is why the softball team is such a good thing, right? We get them out on the field, they're moving, they're playing as a team. And they're also connecting, right? They have to work together. And then, the league specifically is a sober softball league. So you're also connecting with other sober individuals in the community. And so as part of that whole kind of focus on the outdoors and getting people excited about life again, we were able to adopt a trail. For those of you that have not been to Wasatch Crest or aren't familiar with Heber, we're about 10 minutes outside of Park City in the Heber Valley. If you Google Wasatch Back or Heber Valley, you'll see what a beautiful setting we're in. We're on the backside of Timpanogos, and it's a beautiful place. And there's extensive trail systems all over the valley. Literally probably 1,000 miles of single track. And one of the things that they do here in Utah is you can adopt a trail, and that means that you maintain the trail. You essentially, are responsible for cutting back brush and cleaning up trash and making sure that it's in good condition. And we adopted a trail called the Birdie Shot Trail, and it's in the Wasatch Mountain State Park. And Becky and all of her people and alumni have been taking care of that. it's been really cool. They did a Halloween hike. You can see a picture of the alumni in costumes. Pretty cool. But we're really trying to kind of incorporate, living in long-term recovery with connection and having fun in recovery, as well as service. We know that service is such a huge part of a healthy recovery and making it work, that any opportunities we can find to do those things and incorporate, having some fun and connection and, really getting people to come together with the same common goals is super important. So it's been fun. And I know that Becky's made a huge impact on our clients. And there's one thing I do wanted to touch on too is because we mentioned Badera. I wanted to maybe tell you guys a little bit about what that is. So we work with a company called Badera Healthcare. And what they've helped us do is develop a tool to track outcome data. And if any of you listening to this or watching this are professionals, you understand how difficult it is to track real data for long-term sobriety. And it's not just about tracking long-term sobriety or abstinence. It's also about tracking wellness and overall well-being and positive mental health. So while they're here in residential or any level of care, they get introduced to the Badera app. And what it is a digital platform to provide feedback for us and for the client. And we use 2 assessment tools with Badera. And then once they leave, I'll explain those. But once they leave, the app is downloaded on their phone before they walk out the door. And it pings them in the specified intervals to participate in these assessments. So once they participate in the assessments, then the assigned clinician or care team gets that data. They'll get a little pop-up on their phone. It'll say, hey, it's time to take your BAM, which is the Brief Addiction Monitor. It's a really good tool for measuring outcomes in substance abuse treatment or chemical dependency treatment. That one's a little bit longer. It's a reliable, validated tool. That one probably takes clients 15 minutes, I would guess, on average. I'll have to look at the average, but it's a little bit longer. They do that once a month for the first 12 months, and then it gets spaced out further between taking it the second year they're sober. And then the other one that they get weekly is a 5-question kind of wellness assessment. We named it the CHIP, and I can't remember why we named it that. But essentially what it does is it measures resilience, overall happiness and well-being, physical, like health wellness, and then sobriety and actions taken for recovery. And it can actually give us some really good, interesting feedback on whether or not our clients are doing well. It uses a video response system, and it can tell if a client's being or is in distress or struggling. It gives us the opportunity to reach out to them if that's the case. And we have that baseline from when they're here that carries on once they leave. So that's been a really good way to keep clients connected. Plus, once a week, they're getting that ping when they're thinking about Wasatch Crest, and they're hearing from Becky. Like the whole idea, Kayla's put together this incredible communication program. It goes on for, the first 52 weeks they leave, and then obviously after that as well. But really just trying to keep them connected so that they know if they're in that moment of distress or struggling, there's no question, like picking up the phone and calling us is not a big deal. And when we connect with them when they're doing well, it makes it that much easier for them to pick up the phone and talk to us when they're struggling a little bit. So, the reality is this is like the alumni program is the opportunity for us to see, what all those long, hard days can become when clients put the work in. I fully believe that, the clients that leave treatment do well and make significant life changes and are doing really well. that's on that. Like that is all their hard work. But we're super lucky to be able to be on the sideline watching that, and hopefully be a little bit of a part of their new life. So, and that comes from us being able to support them and be there when they need us. So, there, that's my rambling. Okay. Anybody have any questions, Kayla?
We don't have any questions right now, so I will just go ahead and preview our next webinar. So actually, our next webinar, Medical versus Social Detox, it was scheduled for next week, I believe, but we are going to postpone it until January. So if you're signed up for that, just know that we are postponing that. And then there is our admissions line. It's 24/7 phone line. And our website, wasatchcresttreatment.com. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Rich and Becky. You guys did